want to show you my busking setup today. I'm JD. You can find my music under the name Abandaleros, which is the lo-fi kind of folk, country, western type music. And then also you can find the full band with JD and the Brass Saddle Band. Got the shirt. So today I'm going to show you my busking setup. It's really simple and it's really not that expensive. Most of the equipment you probably already have anyways. So let's dig in. We'll show you what we got. So the first thing you want to do before you go out busking, and I think everyone knows this, some places do require permits, like Salt Lake City requires a permit, and it's really easy to get. It's really cheap, and it's one of those permits you go to get, and they want to give you that permit, so they make it really simple for you. So before you go in your city, go look for the right permitting and stuff like that, and there's probably someone in the government that's really helpful that'll make it fun for you. So let's dig into this. So this is what I carry to every event, every time I go busking somewhere. And I start out with just one of these standard Walmart little cart trolleys, whatever you want to call it. And I can fit everything in there. And I'm going to go through bit by bit what I got. Obviously I got the guitar. Alright, and I always bring a shade with me. The cool thing about bringing the shade is that it can rain sometimes, and sometimes it can be really hot. But if you're doing it at night, if you really want to make it magical, you can set up twinkle lights on it.
Dad, can I go in the den?
You can, beautiful.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Jana. This is my lovely assistant, Jana, here, you'll notice. She's over here being sweet as usual. Now, depending on if it's windy or something, you may want to bring some weights to tie this down with. And you also want to make sure that the street you're going to be on has the room for it. So here you go. Oh, hop off there, sweetie. One thing I always carry is a stool. Normally I have a folding stool, but I left it at a friend's house because I forget things all the time. So we got this baby right here. One thing I've found is when you're sitting up on eye level with people or standing, you get better results. People feel more of a connection with you because you're on their level. All right. We got the trusty microphone, obviously.
Can I try the microphone?
In a minute.
Dad, is that new
And it's just a standard mic.
Dad, is that new stickers?
Mike Boone. And it's got my beautiful Shure 55 on there. This is my favorite microphone ever. I use it whether I'm on the street or on a stage. It don't matter. It don't matter at all. One thing I would recommend getting is if you can get a cup holder and an iPad holder. It's nice to have all that handy there. You can set stuff on it and always have your music handy. One reason I use an iPad holder, it's not that I don't have the songs memorized, but when you're on the street, things can be pretty distracting. There is oftentimes lots of excitement. You might have just some crazy person that can distract you. So if you got people listening and you have something there that can kind of help keep you on track. Okay.
I'm smelling that.
You're smelling that? Oh,
What's
yeah.
that thing?
All right.
What is that thing, Dad?
And my favorite amp to
Dad,
use
what is this?
is I always use my Fishman
Dad, is a regular
Loudbox Mini.
apple.
It's an amazing amp. You can hear yourself and other people can hear you.
Dad, what is that
I've got my cords. I bring 2 of every single cord. And I'm going to show you which ones I have here. And I'm just going to take one out right now. Obviously, I got my power cord. All right. have my trusty XLR for the microphone. And the reason I always bring two is you just don't know when stuff's gonna break. It breaks, that's the way life is. I can't predict the future.
Dad, I want to get in the wagon.
You want to get in the wagon? Oh, you can't. There's the battery in there, sweetie. All right. And one thing too, with your amp, so go outside at your house before you go out and busk. Make sure you have all the settings right on it so that it sounds good when you're playing out on the street too. You kind of have it proven beforehand. The best way I can tell you to do this is get your wife or your girlfriend, because chances are they're going to be the most honest with you about how something sounds. So if it sounds like crap, they're going to tell you. And we're just about ready. One thing I do always carry too, I always carry gloves and hand sanitizer. I bring a phone charger. And so that's it. So I'm going to kind of just rearrange things real quick off screen so that we have everything together to kind of show you what the setup is like, and then I'll show you my power supply. You always want to bring merch with you, even if you have to make some of your own. I had a friend that they had a show and they had a friend record it and they made CDs, and they weren't even very good quality recording, but their music was good enough to where people still bought the CDs. So you can also find a friend that has a Cricut and make some iron-ons for a handkerchief or something like that. That's how our merch originally started out. But the folks at Gimme Swag were kind enough to make us our amazing stickers and matchboxes, and also you saw the shirt I'm wearing, so look up Gimme Swag and let's show you the rest of the setup. Let's go to power supply. So here's what I bring for a power supply. Not every city lets you use their power, and they can get pretty upset about it. So what I get is I buy an inverter right there, a nice little 400 watt inverter. Get one at Harbor Freight. They are not very expensive. In fact, they're pretty cheap. All right, let's talk batteries now. This is a standard car battery. Do not go out and buy an expensive car battery. Buy the cheapest one you can find, something for a small car, and it will last. I've never had one run out on me before. And you can plug several amps into this. You can plug an electric guitar along with the vocal amp and everything else if you want to have a friend play with you. So it's a good thing. We'll go over how to connect everything in another video. But that's it right there, and it's easy. You're gonna have hours and hours and hours of fun. All right, well, this is my busking setup here. We're all set up. It doesn't take very long, and it's easy. It's relatively small, especially if you're in a place like Salt Lake where you got wide sidewalks. One thing you do, you don't want to put it out in the middle of the sidewalk. You want to make sure it's, you know, against the building or just out of way where people can walk around you. Make your spot convenient for people. So if you can be across from somewhere where they're going to sit or something like that. If it's a nice evening like last Friday night down in Salt Lake, I was right across from a place that people could sit in between different restaurants and bars, and so people would just come and sit. They're listening, they're gonna enjoy it, they're gonna buy a CD, they're gonna tip you, they're gonna buy a sticker or whatever you have, and you're giving them something to go along with our already good night. So, all right, you guys have a good day. Go out and busk.